still need a good release. No, normal? Okay. No.
Country Curling Club in Northern California. We did broadcast the first dance, just to catch you up. Coyotes did win the hammer by nature of getting their closest to the pin, and they were able to get a point out of that. And now we have Team Feldman with their first chance at it. Looks like they were able to red side. So since while we have a moment, let's take a moment to meet Team Burton. Okay. Looks like they ran that through. Let's take a chance, second to meet Team.
I'm Kimberly Gaddy, throwing lead.
Amy Thompson, throwing second.
Tatiana Keeling, throwing third.
I'm Jane Burton, and I throw skip. We are the Monsters from the Coyote Curling Club.
They're kind of clustered in the house, so Team Burton's probably going to try and make some action on that. On it. Burton wants the sweepers on it. It looks like they're going to make some contact and get one, and just the one, it appears. But they are sticking around. While we have a second, let's meet Team Feldman.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm second.
Laura Lunetta,
Ice. And Katie Feldman, skip, and we're from Ryan Country Curling Club.
USA Curling may award additional berths. But here comes the shot from Burton. Jan got the one, but it's also just taps it to the side. And Team Feldman has a pretty effective array of rocks. They are in the back of the house, which could mean.
That's what it is, yeah. I knew there was something that I couldn't remember, but if you're in an
So here comes Feldman's rock. It's coming up a bit on the light side, but that's kind of what they want. I think they wanted it to be in the house, but they're going to settle for a guard.
So that's why David was saying he wants to come up for lease and stuff, but he wanted to do arena first.
Yes. But the thing is, if he does.
Burton lines up the shot. It looks fairly straightforward. And here comes Burton's shot. And they got one. Are they going to get another? No, they're going to roll out. So Feldman's sitting 2 with Feldman's first skip rock to come. Just to update the score on the other sheet, Hollywood versus Lake Tahoe. Team Keble from Lake Tahoe got a single in the first end, so they are up 1-0, as they say in soccer terms, in the second end. So Feldman making their first skip stones. Looks like they're lining up perhaps a draw, which would make sense if they put it right down the center. Ooh, I'm kind of thinking about this.
They're starting to do that fishing thing. So they're curling more. Hold up.
Or the shot's coming down. It looks to be maybe over curling, so I'm probably looking for a plan B. And I would think that the weight was just off because it looks like to be a draw and to get around that center guard. And now it leaves Burton the possibility of drawing around and sit shot and then force Feldman to pick it out. So this event does result in a berth in the U.S. Nationals, and so we are playing with U.S. National competitive rules. That includes the fun orange broom pads and 38 minutes to thinking time. There's going to be a single timeout. Normally it's 60 seconds, but there is a coach. They threw a little heavier than I thought. I thought they were going to draw, and they're throwing takeout weight. And they're going to make it. They're going to roll. They're hanging around on the edge of the 12-foot. So it looks like Team Burton was happy to give up the deuce to start this, to finish the second end. Team Feldman having the hammer. And it's a pretty easy shot for Team Feldman, lining up pretty quickly and not burning up much of that 38 minutes of thinking time. it down. Just walking it down. Just needs to be full 8 foot. Needs to be around the guard. Slowing down a touch. Needs to get there. And it will. They got the deuce. So Team Feldman takes a 2-1 lead at the end of the second end here, Saturday morning at the 2022 MoPac Women's Playdowns. We'll be back in just a moment. Live streaming of this and other regional competitions is powered by the 18 clubs and 1,500 members of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. Our mission serves to grow curling and foster competition in Arizona, California, Idaho, Nevada, Oregon, and Utah. Visit mopacca.org today to find a curling club near you or for help getting a club started in your community. So we are continuing on here with our coverage. Just to recap the standings through the second game last night, Team Burton was the top of the class, the cream of the crop, with 2 wins so far. Team Feldman from Wine Country and Team Keble from Lake Tahoe, Epic Curling, are split at 1 apiece, 1 win, 1 loss. And Team Kruitz from Hollywood, they are sitting with 2 losses. But there's still plenty of curling to come. We have 3 games on tap today, and we have 1 game at least tomorrow and a possible tiebreaker, because everyone loves tiebreakers. get tapped out the blue. And so now Burton is probably going to draw around. Second, Amy Thompson was the Team Yellow coach for the 2019 Coyotes Curling champions at Coyotes Curling. She was also a member of the 2019 President's Cup championship team, which was a game between Coyotes and Denver. Looks like here's the draw coming in. Looks like it made contact on the blue that was just in front of the house and chipped it in. And so now blue is definitely sitting 2 and maybe a biter top left, just maybe in front of the house. Hold the line, it might be a little tight. But she threw it with authority and got rid of one. Did not stick around. Yeah, here's the first stone being set up by Team Burton's third. It was Tatiana Keeling. She was a winner of the 2020 MoPac mixed 4-person Playdowns, a semifinalist in 15 and a finalist in 16. That is what? Now it's shot rock is in the 4-foot. So with Coyotes having the hammer, ideally you try and draw probably towards the edges of the sheet with the hope of scoring multiple points. Team Burton, the play has kind of gone towards the center, but they're in a very easy game. So Team Feldman was able to get rid of one of the blues and roll undercover. So now blue is sitting just the white. This is the next shot coming from the prize for Team Feldman, Laura Lunetta, who started curling in 2014. She loves animals, music, a search for the soonest, baking red, knitting, sweaters for her dog Daphne, and Scarlet, like her other dog Pepper, coming her cats Olive and Willow. But there's no cuddling and curling, just like there's no crying here. Oh, yeah, I'm looking the wrong person. That was Burton's shot. I got ahead of myself. We're doing it live, folks. There's no do-overs, just like curling. Although there can be do-overs. There's certain rules that allow do-overs. Okay, now we're doing Feldman. And everything I said about Laura Lunetta applies to her right now. Except for it's Katie Feldman's shot first to first skip stone. So Team Burton cleared their blue guard. That really wasn't helping us too much, although they could have run it back possibly. I think that was the shot they tried to do. And so now for Team Feldman, they were probably going to make a play on the shot drop from Team Burton and be sitting 2, which could either lead to a force or, given the caliber of Team Burton, a possible blank. So this is the skip to Team Katie Feldman. She started curling in 2014. She loves doubles curling, Taylor Swift, who doesn't, going to Bonspiels, and people named Brian. And who doesn't love people named Brian? And it looks looks like it's overcurling a bit, and might have to say that's a miss. It pushed the red toward the outer left edge of the 12-foot. So Burton is solidly shot rock, and Burton now has options. And so any possible blank is probably not in the cards. Burton does have her shot lined up. Jane Burton, the skip of Team Burton, or the Monsters, was a member of Team Rizzo, who competed in the 2005 War of the Rings Canadian Olympic qualifier. And she was also a winner of the 2004 40 Vengeance Classic, a World Curling Tour event held in Cornwall, Ontario. And here is her first rock of the third end. Looks like they're setting up a draw. Sweepers are on it. The weight looks to be maybe a little bit back of the house. Oh, it's slowing up. It is slowing up. So they're sitting two solidly, and so for Team Feldman faces a fairly tricky situation because they could get rid of one and see the deuce, the two, or they could try and lock one on to the shot rock, sitting just top of the 4-foot, and force Burton to make a play on it. Now, if they miss, they could be giving up 3. They have a bit of house money because they scored a deuce in the second end, but it's I think a tricky decision. Adjusting the ice a little bit, giving it a little bit more ice to skip Katie Feldman.
So about the same weight, we took a little bit of ice.
I think they're going to just chip out the shot rock, 6 shot, and force Burton to make a play on it. And here we go, the last rock for Team Feldman in this third end. Looks like it's curling up, it might be over curling. If they can roll under the cover. So perhaps not the greatest plan B. Burton has a pretty open shot to score 3 right back after giving up that deuce in the second inning. Here we go, the hammer for Team Burton, third end. Shot for 2. Super's going. Needs to curl up. And unfortunately it was a miss. So Team Feldman was in a bit of a danger and escaped the danger zone, as it were, with just giving up 1 to Team Burton here at the end of the third end, with the score now all square, 2-all going into the fourth end. We'll be back in just a moment. Before we do, I want to give an update on the other game on the sheet, sheet B for Baker. that game is, as I mentioned before, Team Feldman from Lake Tahoe, Epic Curling, versus Team Coots from Hollywood. Looks like they're just about to wrap up the third end, and it's been all Team Feldman so far, scoring another single, a steal in the second end. So right now, with the last rocket round put down, it is 2-0 Team Pebble, although looking at the house, Pebble is sitting shot rock.
Just when you think you know what the ice is going to
It's
do, it's different.
we're sitting shot rock behind cover, so it looks like we could possibly get another steal here at the third end. And I'll just stay with it because why not? That's the fun of curling. Coots is about to make their last shot. Third. They're finishing a lot. Well, they're finishing, guys, it looks like they're doing a long draw. Instead of a straight draw. It's going to be pretty tricky to move that blue off the button, though, for the Coots on sheet B. Don't know if the weight's there for Team Coots, and they're just going to wave it off, and it's going to be another steal of 1 for Team Pebble, Lake Tahoe Epic Curling, and they're going to be up 3-0 going into the fourth end. On sheet B, back to our feature sheet coverage. Team Burton opened up with a super tight guard, or a biter, depending on who's asking. I mean, they could bring out the biter bar if it was close enough, but I don't think it is. It's probably a guard. And so here comes the second shot from Coyotes Team Gaddy. It looks like just a simple hit and stick, mission accomplished. Oh, it was Team Coots that had the points. I apologize. So Team Coots did get that point in the third end, so it's 2-1. My apologies. I'm colorblind today, apparently. Here's the next rock from Team Feldman's lead, Chris Bilbray. It looks like a draw. Needs to slow down or it's going to go way back to the house, maybe out. And it's going to go out. Next up on deck is Team Burton second, Amy Thompson. Looks like they're just going to do a draw. Sweepers are really on it. It's really curling too. It's going to cross the center line and actually just be right on the center line as a guard. So for Team Burton not having the hammer, they are trying to force play towards the center of the house. It looks to be something of a mission so far. Sweepers are really on it towards the bubble, and their second, Melissa McGuire. They're going to make contact and roll under. No, it's going to roll across the center of the ice, towards the back 4 foot, back 8 foot coming on right side of the sheet. And so Burton just wants to make a play on this. we're going to ask Amy Thompson to get rid of that. Oh, red. They roll back towards the center a little bit. More's the better. The hit and stick, really, not much of a roll of energy after that shot. So Team Feldman is just choosing to ignore the shot rock initially, although Katie Feldman is taking a look at that. Just looking at which way to perhaps draw the take out of. Walking it down. So they're hoping to take the roll or tip it out with their drive. They are calling a technical timeout on our shooting. And it was a draw. Drew to the back of the house. They're sitting second shot. So right now we're going to take a pause. As Team Burton had called the technical timeout. And we're not using eye on the hod, the sensors they have in the handles to determine if there's a hod line violation. So I just want to check to see what the situation might be. We're going to pause for just a second. But as a friendly reminder, this broadcast is presented by the authority of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. So we're busting out the rule book today. It appears that one of the players may have not thrown their second rock. And so the second is going to get some additional glory by throwing the last rock. This is going back to Team Burton. This is touchdown at Keely's rock. What team was it? So just some clarification from the head technical official. It was Burton's second, Amy Thompson, who apparently her second stone was not thrown. So she's going to get an addition, but she'll be throwing her second rock at the end of the end. So going back to Team Feldman, looks like they just maybe want to draw around. They don't need to make contact on the rock in the back of the house. Or actually, I think they have the shot rock. So they made a play on the shot rock. They chipped out the Burton blue. And they are now sitting shot. The action is now towards the back of the house. Team Feldman does have a hammer this time. Just one of the things about our technology is that the scoreboard I use is kind of obscured by some of the technical on-screen graphics, so I can't always see the information I need, but hopefully we'll keep you up to date. So this is the first rock from Skip Burton. It looks like they just want to draw around. definitely want to draw around, and it looks like to be in the top 4. Sweepers are drawing. Weight looks pretty good, although the Rocks do seem to put the brakes as they cross that hard line and head towards the house. But it looks like it's a well-swept rock, exactly where Burton wanted it. Although it looks to be a little open, so if Feldman wants to chip it out, Feldman could. So this is the last rock from the vice of Team Feldman. The meta, Supers are on it. The weight, Supers is kind of escorting it down. He needs to curl up. It's starting to go. Looks like they made contact, but it ended up jamming the blue onto their red in the back of the 8-foot. So now blue is sitting shots. Red is second and third, Team Feldman, but that blue, that shot rock is going to be pretty tricky to get out. Team Burton's kind of talking over their shots and where they want to go. And it looks like they just want to draw around again, which would definitely reduce the scoring area and really amp up the pressure on Team Feldman to get a score out of his end. So it looks like Team Burton set up for the draw. This is the second shot from the skip, but it is not the last shot from Team Burton because that whoopsie, as we might say, from the second in the earlier in the end. Sweepers are alternating back and forth. It looks like they're going to make contact on the red. So they're going to roll the other way. So they did get rid of the the red out of the house. So now blue has 2 rocks in the house. They're sitting flat and third, with red being the second. It looks like Team Feldman is not going to try and chip out that blue. They have 2 shots. It could be possible to, to have made a play on that blue in the back. Be ready ice and have their weight well then to kind of chip out that blue, roll to the side, and maybe handing back to the juice. But it looks like they're going to set up to draw. They have 2 rocks, and so they could perhaps manufacture a juice this way. I mean, also they've been shooting this path a couple times, so I think they're pretty familiar with the ice at this point. And we are underway. Sweepers are not putting up good. Looks to be perhaps a touch heavy, and they're probably just gonna let it go. It's kind of even Team Burton didn't put much of a room on that. And so the skip is back in the house for the last rock of the end for Team Burton. As you mentioned, there is a bit of an error by the second where she did not throw a second rock. And so she gets to do it now. One of the weird, fun rules of curling. Maybe not as fun as the legend size, but still fun. And here we go. Another shot from Team Burton's second, Amy Thompson. Now this would be just a draw. If they could be top 4, top 8, they'll be in a really solid position to possibly steal, actually. It's a touch heavy, actually, so Team Burton's in a good situation, but there might be an out for Feldman. the easiest thing to do would be a hit and stick. Again, making sure your weight and your line are spot on. Because if you miss one way or the other, you can end up giving up that deuce that is set up right now for Team Burton. They're sitting in 2. Or they could draw, and it looks like they're setting up for a draw right now. There's really no way to get a deuce out of this situation. So if Burton wanted to force Team Feldman to this end, mission accomplished. And Team Feldman going to draw and settle for one, ideally. From Team Feldman to Team Feldman from one country. Shooters are on it. Just gonna need to get there. It's really light. Needs to get there. Okay, it's pretty close now. You have to go hard though. Now they're going hard. All the way, guys, ladies. All the way. All the way. And just short. So it looks to be a steal of 1. The devices need to do it. Team Burton's in the house, and I'm sure she's not used to determining the score. Okay, so looks like they've resolved the situation. I'm going to guess it's a score of 1, but we'll hold off on that until we come back. For the 5th end of this morning's draw at the 2022 MoPac Women's Playdowns. Just right now, a quick shout out and thank you to Lake Tahoe Epic Curling for hosting this tournament. It's been a pleasure to be here. Everyone's doing a thoughtful. It's a lot of fun, outgoing, and dedicated. And it's been a pleasure to be here. Hopefully the team is having a great time as well. And it's been a great event. Just the first of many great events being hosted by MoPac in the next couple of months. We'll be with you next week at the Coyotes Curling Club for the men's club playdowns. And then in January we're going to be at the Southern California Curling Center for the mixed 4-person club playdowns. So lots of live curling action coming your way over the next 2 months. Almost a holiday gift from us at MoPac to everyone watching and hopefully enjoying this event. So we're underway here at the 5th end. It looks like it was just a single for Team Burton. So we are taking a 3-2 lead heading into this 5th and the halfway point through the game. Once we finish this end, we are going to take a 5-minute break. I might not talk during the entire 5 minutes because, hey, people don't want to hear me the entire time. And then we'll resume play. As I mentioned, this is an event that does result in a U.S. curling appearance, and so they are playing 10 ends. However, if the game is out of hand, teams can choose to resign after 6. So the second shot coming from Kim Gaddy, the lead for Coyotes. They are sitting on the button right now. Team Feldman has a tight guard. Coyotes, Team Burton was just kind of walking the stall down. They're complaining, essentially. Now they're going. And it looks like they're going to lock it on the bottom. Actually, it's not locked. There's some separation, but it's pretty darn close to a fairly large shot. I mean, so much so that Feldman is trying to make a play on it, and they want some weight thrown at this shot. This is the second shot coming from the lead for Feldman. This field break. Supers are on it. Oops, it's definitely going to make contact. It did hit the krill a bit more than I think they were planning. But they rolled it to the side, they kept the shooter, so they are sitting second shot right now with Team Burton still touching the button. So Amy Thompson's first shot for Burton. And it looks like they just want to make a play on the red that is in the house. Throwing looks to be about hack weight. And unfortunately, it looks like it's over-curled, or maybe they had the wrong turn. And not going to make contact. So Team Feldman with the first shot coming from their second, Melissa McGuire. See, Feldman's calling for hack weight on, so to make contact with the blue, and probably just roll, just spin around. Supers are on it. It's curling up, it might be over curling. So it probably over-curled a touch. They do get rid of the blue, so they know Team Feldman listening to after rolling their shooter towards the right edge of the 8-foot, but it does leave a pretty tasty takeout for Team Burton, and that's what they're playing. It looks like they're gonna, obviously gonna get one, but they only chipped off the top shots and rolled out, so now Feldman is sitting to one with no blues in the house. Feldman does have the hammer in his hand, and so it might behoove them to move the action away from that shot rock to set up a multiple score. Also, what Katie Feldman is setting up, drawing around the guard that's just off the center. It gives them some cover. And also, looking at plan B is they make contact on that guard, and when we pull the guard to the house, they accomplish a lot. Although it's going to go past the guard, it's going to top of the 12. Right at the top of the 8. So they did start to split the house a little bit. Burton is making a play on the shot rod. Still sitting to one, or they're back to sitting to one. And it looks like Feldman wants to do a draw tap, push the shot rock under the cover of the guard, and roll to the left. Touch heavy, but they did want to hit and roll a little bit, so they got a bit of a roll. They got a little bit of contact, but it's setting up what could be a pretty straightforward double takeout from 4-5. But the shooter set the route. And Feldman wants to cozy up to that blue. Here comes the second shot from Anna. Not quite sure why they wanted to make a play on that blue, but I don't know. It is heading towards blue.
I know.
I mean, it's possible for Feldman to maybe set up a multiple point end by, trading some hits and rolls or hits and windbags from Burton. It is towards the end of the end, so it's going to be interesting to see how many routes they can pursue down this path if they choose to go that route. For Burton, if they do a double run back, it's a very short double run back, they would be sitting at least one. Depending on how they hit it, they could roll to the side. Just also make it harder for Team Feldman to get into the house. Here we go, the first of skip stones in the fifth ends. The first coming from Team Burton. Maybe just a touch off on the ice. He actually ran into the guard that was just to the right of this pile. And so now Feldman has some opportunities. It looks like Feldman wants to kind of draw into that pile again. It would perhaps be good to maybe create some separation, maybe tap out that blue later for the hammer shot. I mean, also it's possible just to set up a deuce by ignoring the pile and setting up a shot. I guess where they are it's pretty good. But they could set up a shot and be sitting top of the four on the left side. And just make it harder for Burton to draw in. And if Burton taps the red back, then Team Feldman would have the lead. But we're underway. The first skip stone from Team Feldman. Weight's pretty good. It's going to get into the pile, it looks like. And it just nudges the blue, and it rolls the red to the side. They're open. Yeah, so now it definitely looks like the deuce is in play for Team Feldman. The Burton's kind of looking to see what shot they could do. It's also possible, maybe depending on how much heat that Burton throws at the shot, to maybe get rid of the two reds. Maybe sitting at least one. Just kind of depending on how they look at it.
We're drawing.
However, it looks like they've resolved to do the draw.
I know where.
Oh, here. It is.
There's a decent amount of cover on the center of the house, so they're able to draw around and sit under all those guards, the cover. It would be very, very difficult for Feldman to do that and score the 1 or 2. But here we go, the last shot from Team Burton, fifth end. Supers take it out of hand. Wake looks pretty good. Let's see the way they're sweeping it. But it does go to the back of the house, back to the foil, pardon me. So Feldman, if they throw a heavy draw at it, they could push that blue back to the, it doesn't have to go very far, and then they would get the deuce. So it looks like that's the shot they're going to do, is the heavy draw, as I would call it. So as we're about to head into the fifth end break, it looks like they're using their time fairly judiciously. They have 38 minutes and they're right around time. And here comes the hammer from Team Feldman, no Team Feldman. Supers are going. Weight needs to be there. Line needs to be there. Needs to curl. Needs to curl. And oh, now they made contact. The red shooter rolled to the side. And so it's just going to be the one for Team Feldman, making the score all square at 3, heading into the sixth end. We are going to take a break, but before we do, just update the score on the other sheet between Team Pebble and Team Coots. They are just about to finish their fifth end, it looks like. Their score is tied at 2 between both Team Coots from Hollywood Curling Club and Team Pebble of Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. So we're going to take about a 5-minute break, and we will be back shortly with more coverage from the 2022 MoPac mixed playdown, MoPac women's playdown here from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll be right back. we are back, ready to start the 6th end here as the feature game between Team Feldman of Wine Country Curling Club and Team Burton, aka the Monsters of Coyotes Curling. Team Feldman tied up the game heading into the halfway points, so we're all square at 3 heading into the 6th end. Just to update the game on the other sheet, sheet B, between Team Cable of Lake Tahoe Epic Curling and Team Coots of Hollywood. It was a one fest until just this last end, as Lake Tahoe was able to put up a 3 spot, and so they are now up 5-2 as they are now in their intermission. Back to our feature sheet, Team Burton and Kim Gaddy are throwing their first rock at the end, and Burton wanted to draw a stone to the wing in the house, and that is what Gaddy delivered, although it went back a touch deep. And Feldman is setting up to make a play on that rock. As we have the first stone coming from, the second stone coming from the lead, Chris Bilbray. And it looks like they drew around. So a very good shot, it appears, from Bilbray. Burton's looking to see what to do here. about halfway. That's a bit heavier than that. But contact successful, hit the stick, and Team Feldman appears to be facing quite a few blue counters. Blue is definitely sitting free with that lone wine country shot sitting on the outer edge of the 8 on the right. Here is the shot from Laura Lunetta. The team was looking for a guard. And it looks like it's going to go in the house. Make some contacts and kind of move around towards blue stones just behind the tee line. Not a freeze necessarily, but it is somewhat dangerous for Burton to try and take it out. Although they do have several opportunities to score, so they can play on it now would be a solid call. That appears to be what Burton's doing. As we now have the second shot coming from Bobcat Feeling. And that's another upward shot. Gaddy is sweeping hard. Now, yep. So not necessarily curling up a lot, so they actually kind of took on their own. It has opened up the red a little bit more, making it easier to take that red out later if the opportunity comes up. But now, Team Feldman, Katie Feldman, and the Lions Laura Lunetta are strategizing. Feldman is looking into that pile, and drawing into that pile makes a lot of sense, helping to reduce the scoring area, and also if Burton tries to take out any Feldman stones, it makes more likely that red will stick out. It's just kind of making the mess work for you, which never worked when I told my parents they didn't want to clean my room. But now we have a messy house, and it's going to be pretty tricky to clean up, as it were. First from Skip Katie Feldman. And it looks like they were trying to do the draw. I think that's what they're doing. And they kind of chipped the blue a little further back, and now the red is, I wouldn't say locked necessarily until I get another look, but the red's in a situation where they can't necessarily get rid of the ball without taking out at least some of theirs. So it looks like Team Burton, based on where they have the broom, is going to make a play on those reds. I don't see them getting rid of them both in terms of those two red shots from Team Feldman, but getting rid of at least one and maybe rolling the red to a position where it's less dangerous would be advantageous. don't know which side of the rough they wanted to hit. They're going to hit on the left side. And they did get rid of the one red. They did stick the shooter. So it appears, just based on the glimpse I saw, that Burton is sitting shot rock and Feldman is sitting second. Actually, no, correction, sorry. Feldman is sitting shots with a little bit of blue backing. And so it's possible for Feldman to maybe lock another one on. That seems to be the shot that they called. The other option would maybe be perhaps maybe to put another red on the side and just definitely make sure that the force is on. Although locking another one on, other option I think seems really good. I don't have the statistics because if they successfully lock another one on, that pretty much forces Burton to the draw to a fairly narrow target to get that one. And I would also say the draw is a little bit tougher because there's that guard in the middle of the guard zone. But here we go. Last rock coming from Team Feldman to Team Feldman. Looks like they threw a bit more weight than I thought they would. But no, the weight to weight's pretty good. It might over curl. They're on it now. And I would say a pretty good outcome. I don't think that is enough to be second shot. But it does seem pretty dangerous for Burton to make a play on it. And so I think they're looking to just maybe okay, they are doing a draw. Now that I think about it, it's possible if the shot's just right to maybe just kind of tap that shot red out. But if they hit it right on, they hit the tree. But in any case, they have backing, so like the chances of them being at least one are pretty high, and it seems like they're setting themselves up for the possibility of a case. Here it comes. Hammer from Team Burton. Team Burton, the Monsters of Coyotes. Supers are going. Now they're just so it definitely looks like it's just going to be the draw for the ball. Okay, mission accomplished, touching a piece of the lid. That is good for one. Just pushing it back in the lead. 4-3, Team Burton. As we head into the seventh inning stretch time coming. As our game continues. And the 2022 Women's Playdowns brought to you by MoPac. Live streaming of this and other regional competitions is powered by the 18 clubs and 1,500 members of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. Our nation serves the pro curling and plasma competition in Arizona, California, Idaho, Nevada, Oregon, and Utah. Visit MoPacCA.org today to find a curling club near you or for help getting a club started in your community. All right, here we go. Team Feldman has the hammer to start the seventh inning, so Team Burton's Team Daddy will start things off for us.
But you can still do something good here. a corner freeze on that blue.
So we have the first stone coming from Chris Bilbright for the Team Feldman. Team Burton was able to chip out that red. For those of us just joining, why don't we reintroduce the teams? This is Team Feldman.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm second.
Laura Lunetta, ice.
And Katie Feldman, skip, and we're from Ryan Country Curling Club.
And as always, thank you for the teams for helping with these videos. Just hopefully adding a little bit more of a jeu, as they say, to our coverage. Looks like they were able to put up a guard. And let's meet Team Burton once again.
I'm Kimberly Gaddy, throwing lead.
Amy Thompson, throwing second.
Tatiana Keeling, throwing third.
I'm Jane Burton, and I throw skip. We are the monsters from the Coyote Curling Club.
So here comes the next shot from Team Burton. Looks like they we're doing a draw, maybe a draw tap, and that's what they're going to get. Tapping their shot back towards the biting the forefoot. So one of the fun things about doing those team photos was that the teams got to kind of express a little bit of their character, have a little bit of fun while they were doing it, and hopefully that's part of the spirit of curling is just to have fun sometimes. Now push out a hatch for Team Burton. It's Melissa McGuire. And I think they wanted to make a play on those blues at the top of the house. Throwing a bit of heat at it. Going to get one, going to roll off to the side. So got at least one. Got
water in there. It's a so cool bottle.
got another stone in the house.
Okay, up the other side.
What
Here's the shot coming from Team Burton, second, Amy Thompson. Looks to be another draw. Burton's kind of moving just towards the top of the house. Should be a little bit of a hip waggle. And it looks like it's going to be around there, maybe just a touch heavy. And it's going to just tap the shot rock back just a little bit more. And Feldman doesn't waste any time calling a very similar shot, dialing up a very similar shot for McGuire's the second. They got one. They got one. They made contact with one, but it just pushed over to the side, and they lost the shooter. So now Team Burton is sitting 3, and it's a very precarious situation for Team Feldman because those 3 are spread across the house above the tee line. and it's going to be pretty tricky for a Feldman to make faith out of a lot of this. Although it may be possibly maybe tapping back and sort of maybe creating a cluster to help to generate some offense as this end continues. Looks like Burton wanted to put up a very simple stuff for the last one, just like touching the top of the house. Full 12 is probably not bad, but it's going to be a tight guard. And Feldman wants to do the draw. And we're going to be able to see here Laura Lunetta device and execute. Looks like a very good release. Supers are going though. He's going to probably make contact on the top red. Push the red back. Actually run the red back towards the blue that was sitting the second shot. And so now Feldman is sitting the second shot. Corner throws on that blue on the right side. So a pretty good outcome for Team Feldman. Although they need, ideally they want to score, and the blank is not offing here. So this is the shot coming from Tatiana Keeling from Team Burton. I think they just want to kind of draw into the 8-foot and basically make it really difficult for Feldman to get into the access to the center of the house to get a score. They did hit the guard. So for Feldman, it looks like they want to go to the button now. Laura Lunetta's second. Supers are not going, so they're either pretty happy with the weight or the weight's just not there. Looks to be a touch heavy. The Supers are going now. Maybe they can get contact off of their red and roll in, and that's what happened. They tapped the blue out to the outer 12-foot and rolled in, and I think they are now sending shots. So if that was a plan B, that was a pretty good plan B. Although it does look like there's a possibility of a double takeout for Burton to execute, depending on how they hit it, or it could be roll. Which also seems to be possibly what Burton's dialing up. So I'll note this is probably the stiffest challenge that Burton's faced so far. 3 games that Burton played, they won fairly handily, and this is definitely the closest that they've been through 6 and 7 ends. In the game, which is big because we want to see like a lot of close competitions, and it's also really good to see the teams develop and enhance their games with competitions like these Playdowns. Here comes the first rock from Skip and Team Burton. Pretty cozy under cover under center. So now a question for Feldman would be, how do you house manufacture booze out of this? And and it looks like they might want to tap that red a little further back under the cover. It would make sense. I don't think you want to be too risky, because if you push that red all the way out, there's 2, maybe 3 other blues that come into play. So you definitely kind of don't want to bet the farm, as it were, to make a juice out of this. So it looks like a draw. Supers are going now. Line's really good, but it's lights. So now for Burton, that right side is pretty closed off, and so they might be thinking, do they just force Feldman to run and take the hammer into the even ends, the 8th and 10th end, which is a strategic advantage that a lot of teams go for. There doesn't seem to be an easy way to get rid of the shot rock. So I think that's what they're going to do, is they're going to try and just clog things up and force Feldman to take the one and control the even ends through the rest of the game. Looks like they wanted to try and go for the guard, and it whipped off of their own, and perhaps left a port open for Feldman to make some sort of play on it. Although I don't think that's what they want to do. I don't see a broom down. Okay, now we do. They're just going for a. I think they're just going to throw it away, and that's what they're going to do. They're having to take the one, and they didn't want to risk it. That's totally understandable. So as they threw the shot into the boards, and unlike bumper bowling, you can't play off the boards in curling for some reason. So it's just going to be 1 point for Team Feldman to tie things up. Burton has the hammer in the even ends as we continue our coverage of the 2022 MoPac Women's Club Playdowns here at Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. We'll be back in just a moment. If you or your business would like to become a sponsor for MoPac, our competitions, or our live streaming service, visit mopacca.org and click on the contact link on the right-hand side of the page. We're really happy to be here. Just to reintroduce myself, I am Ryan Olson. I am your announcer for today's game. We're trying to get other people to help pitch in, to help enliven our broadcasts, because everyone has kind of a unique perspective when it comes to curling. And the one thing I thought would be great is that the atmosphere that you get when you have a bunch of people in the club watching the game and discussing the shots and the strategy, that would be a very, I think, a unique way to help enhance the broadcast. So hopefully we're going to get some guest announcers to join me here in the virtual booth. Actually, it's a table at the club in the warm room, but definitely, hopefully, enlivening the broadcast and making sure this is a valuable service for people who are watching it. And here we are underway. First stone comes from Christine Dobray of Team Feldman. Looks to be a close to center guard, half-point center guard. And Burton just wants to draw around. I think she wants to go in the house. We'll see if this Tim Gaddy can deliver. So this has been a great game. Hopefully people who got up early to watch this game are having an enjoyable time. I know we are. And looks like this rock is going to be a guard. So not the draw round necessarily. It's a tight guard. Just a reminder of what the slate of games that we have today coming from the MoPac Women's Club Playdowns. Coming up at around 1:30 on our feature sheet, we have Team Pebble of Lake Tahoe Epic Curling taking on Team Feldman again. And then on the B sheet, we have Team Burton facing Team Coots in a rematch of their first game. And then coming up at 6:30 or so, we have Team Feldman on our feature sheet taking on Team Coots. And on the B sheet, Team Cable will take on Team Burton. That's coming up tonight here from Tahoe, coming to you on our MoPac YouTube channel. So the second shot from Bill Bray turns out to be a guard. The next shot from Gaddy. I think they want to draw it down now and put it in the house. Supers are going. It looks like it might be over curling, and maybe like chip off of the red, and it pushed the red over onto the center blue, and rolled the blue off to the side of the corner guard. So there's a lot of guards in play, and it looks like the guards are in Team Burton's favor. As we watch this shot coming from Melissa McGuire, the second forward Team Feldman. Looks like Feldman wanted to draw around now, maybe beats Burton to the punch. It looks like they are going to draw around pretty nicely. It'd be about half buried, so a very solid shot from Melissa McGuire. So it's going to be a bit tricky for Burton to get access to it. So it looks like they're going to start playing guard now. The person they're going to trust to clear the guard is the second forward, Thompson. Gaddy is sweeping it almost out of hand. They got rid of one of the center guards and replaced it with their own. The angles are not necessarily super great for Team Burton along the center line. I just think how that red is on the right corner of the blue along the center line. So making a play on that red will almost likely push the blue off to the left. But here comes the next shot from McGuire. Or be tight to the house, but they are going to draw towards the center and actually push their red a little bit. So now we have a lot of staggered guards right down the middle, and Burton has to make a play on this, and that is what they're doing. They're calling for a decent weight on this shot. outside. Yeah. A bit of a miss, unfortunately. So now Burton really wants that guard. And we're going to see if the vice for Team Burton, Laura Lunetta, will be able to put that into place. Good. Burton doesn't want the sweepers to lay a broom on it. So they are just escorting it down like they're seeking service. And it looks like a pretty decent placement. So they're shot, or they're sitting two for Burton. This could give Burton a little bit of out because if they just if they hit it out, they would be sitting shot rock and it might be hard to access. But also they want to do it like a draw tap, which also would make it hard to access the stone clothing. And this is the first shot, I believe, from touchdown at Healing. On it. Chipped off of their guard, and so it's actually almost protecting those two redstones. So Feldman is in an excellent position to steal at this point. They want the guard, just making that much harder for Burton to access that side of the sheet. However, I will note that the left side is pretty open and they can drop to the forefoot fairly easily. It looks like if the guys is curling on. So the tension is on the right side of the sheet, but there is an option on the left side that Burton could use to perhaps bail out. This rock is going to be a touch heavy, but not bad. It just kind of pushes the blue aside. They're solidly kind of blocking that path. So, like I said, the attention is very much on the right side of the sheet. However, the left side is fairly open, and they could perhaps manufacture something if they took their attention there. Burton is looking to kind of clean out these guards, which is now just going to do a bit of a mess. Here comes Keenan's next shot. She's throwing weight at it. They're sweeping hard. Yeah, at least they're going to start moving some stuff around. And would you look at that? They pushed the blue onto the button and they are now sitting shot. What a great shot. They're going to start moving some stuff around. And would you look at that? They pushed the blue onto the... So, after all that, Burton is sitting to one, and it could be a situation where if Feldman guarded it up, and trying to force Burton to take one, and kind of continue this battle of ones into the ninth man, that is a possibility. Also, like a draw tap to push that blue back can also be an option. Here we go. Yeah, first shot from Team Feldman of Team Feldman. It's hanging out there, and it looks like it's going to be a guard, in a middle guard. So now Team Feldman, Team Burton's calling their timeout. they did a minute 30. The 30 extra seconds is to allow the invisible coach time to get on the ice. So they're discussing this shot as our head ice our head technician or technical people coming goes out just to keep an eye on things. Just doing a great job of watching. Yeah, so he's getting a bit of a laugh from the people in the warm room because he indicated that he wanted to be on TV, and he is. So good job of that. There's nothing like being YouTube curling live stream famous, and so congratulations to that. They had 24 seconds. They're talking about their shot, and it looks like they have something lined up. All right, the timeout's almost over, and they do have their shot lined up. It looks like they're going to do a draw. They have two shots remaining, and this might be a setup shot to maybe try and get something out of their last shots. But here we go. Team Burton's first here in the eighth end. Keeling's calling the sweepers off. Sweepers are just kind of walking in. It's curling up pretty nicely. It's going to get through the port, and it's going to be sitting just in the top 12. So, fairly well executed shots, and it could possibly set up something for the hammer shot. So I'm looking at the overhead camera, which is in the warm room, and the red and the blue are a lot closer than I thought they would be. So I'm not quite sure what the actual shot rock is. It might come down to a measure for Team Feldman. And Team Feldman was an excellent opportunity to force or perhaps even steal this end. The other thing is also, if they want to risk it, I mean, they could perhaps try to tap their red and make it for sure shot rock. And here we go with the last rock coming from Team Feldman of Team Feldman. Supers are going. It looks like it's curling up a bit. And this is going to kind of curl towards the center, past the center and into kind of the pile. So perhaps not the outcome that they wanted. And so now for Team Burton, Price Feeling has the room down, and it looks like they want to do an in-off. I'm thinking my replay button because if they make this, it's going to be a great shot. So setting up for an in-off, it's going to be a pretty great shot here. So here we go. I don't know if she threw the shot away or it just wasn't there, but they pulled that stone. And that is the end of the end. I'm not quite sure who scored. I guess we'll find out in just a moment. One blue. So the people in the warm room are saying it's one for Burton, and I trust them implicitly, so I'm going to put that as the score. So Burton takes a 1-point lead heading into the ninth end. We'll be back in just a moment as our coverage from the 2021 MoPac Women's Playdowns continues from Lake Tahoe at the Curling. We'll be right back. We are back here at Lake Tahoe after curling. The ninth end. This is the most in-depth our coverage has done so far with our live stream. And we're very thankful for everyone who tuned in today. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage. Looks like Team Burton sitting shot on the top of the forefoot with Feldman having one almost locked on. Burton's looking to probably maybe guard or put another one in. As we have the shot coming out from Amy Thompson. Looks like it's going to be just in the top 12. Feldman has a hammer. Feldman's kind of looking over what the shot's going to be. It looks like they want to perhaps hit and roll. Calling for some bumper leg. Shot from Melissa McGuire. Doesn't necessarily look happy about it. And it's going to maybe make contact, chip it over. It's going to lose the shooter. So, changes the situation somewhat. But Burton just kind of wants to put that tight fighter back in play. shot's pretty close. Although it looks like it maybe overcurled a touch. And it's gonna lock right onto the red. So actually, Feldman wants to, kind of chip out that blue, but if they ran back on the top blue, it could help the situation, perhaps. There might be an angle I'm not thinking about. Looks like they're throwing a fair weight at it. Okay, and it looks like it did run into the pile, perhaps. And so it unlocked a lot of stuff. And so now the blue is unlocked, and it's pushed to the side of the back 8. Red is shot in the just past the 4 foot on the right, and the angles are mostly in Red's favor for Feldman. I mean, it looks like though Burton is setting up perhaps to run the red onto the blue onto the red, and then again changing the complexity of the end. But here comes the shot from Tatiana Keeling, and she's throwing a bit of weight at it. And they unlocked it, and definitely kind of changed up the complexity of the net there. Unlocking everything. Now it looks like Burton wants to draw around. This is Laura Munetta's first. Shift off of the blue that was sitting just to about the center line in the 12 foot, and just rolled to the right. So updating the other game, as I've been asked to do, Team Keble from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling taking on Team Coots from Hollywood. After giving up a 3-shot in the 5th end, Hollywood responded with a single in the 6th and a steal of 2 in the 7th. So now we're all trying to steal of 3. Oh, and they just posted it, and they just stole 3 and 8. So just a pretty decent swing, really. So Hollywood is really aiming to get on the board here with their first win with a solid showing in the second half of this game. So we'll keep you updated on that as we return to our feature sheet. So it looks like Team Burton was able to chip out the shot rock from Feldman, and so now it appears that Feldman is sitting. Burton is sitting shot rock. Feldman is sitting second, and then there's a lot, and I mean a lot of blue in the 12 foot, leading to Feldman taking her 90-second timeout. We'll see if the head official goes out on the ice again. So we're taking that time out. Team Feldman's going to go and see what the situation is around the house, and it's going to be pretty tricky. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of blue around the 8-foot, 12-foot line. And so Feldman, they do have the hammer, but I'm wondering if they're just trying to find a way to get out of this end without giving up a quicker number. It looks like they're looking towards the left side of the sheet. Maybe kind of hit the off the side of the blue and kind of wiggle in behind the red on the right side. Something they're not necessarily looking at, I don't know if it would be a good shot or not, is that there is the blue shot rockets in the back 8, and if they could maybe hit and roll on that, that could help the situation perhaps, because it would, Burton would maybe tap that, but then it would just kind of free things up and make it easier for Feldman to get that draw to the button, to at least get a 1 out of this end to tie things up heading into the 10th end. But they've made their call, although Feldman is definitely still looking it over as they head back to the pack. Looks like we want to run back the guard rock that's red. Curious to see what the outcome's going to be. Threw a little weight. I don't know if she was online. It was a little narrow. Supers are going for it. It looks like they might be going for that kind of wiggle, although it's overcurling for the wiggle too. But they did get one of the blues out, and the shooter did stick around, although it's on the outside of the 12 over here. But it appears to have made the situation a little bit more simpler for Team Burton, as Burton and her bias dealing are discussing the shot. Looks like they maybe just want to club the pack to the center of the button, which is definitely a super valid strategy. I mean, they are sitting 2, and they have a 1-point lead, and so looking at the rest of the game, if they steal here, it's a positive situation almost no matter what. If they steal more than 2, it definitely sets up Team Burton in a very good position for the win. If they only steal 1, it leaves the door open somewhat for Feldman to maybe score a juice and force an extra end in the 10th. But it looks like they want to guard it up and perhaps just kind of just close off that path to the button. Here we go with Burton's first shot. Gaddy's sweeping it. Now both Gaddy and Thompson sweeping it. The weight looks pretty solid. Might be overcurling a smidge. It overcurled perhaps a little bit of what they wanted, but it's a guard and definitely leaves them in a pretty solid position. For Feldman's taking the house, and she and Minetta are looking perhaps at a hit and roll towards the center. Looks like they are going to do the hit and roll. Feldman getting the hack for her first of 2 skip stones. Looking at the time, they're doing okay on time, although it is getting a little tight. Again, 38 minutes of thinking time are allotted per team per game. She looks like she's a little late at it. Supers are just escorting it down. Now they're going. Off, but it looks like it's going to be a little outside. generate contact on the red and roll towards the center. Didn't roll enough necessarily. They are sitting between the 12 and the 8s, leaving Burton with the 2. They're in position to steal 2. It looks like Burton wants to deliver that red. And again, kind of the same thing as I was saying in the last shot. If they hit stick that blocks off the path of the button, making it very difficult for Feldman to get to the button to get at least one. So here we go. This is Burton's last here in the 9th. With a chance to really take control of this game heading into the final end. Ooh! They definitely got the red and the red out, but it chipped out one of the blues. And so the shot rock rolled towards the center, so the path to the button is open. And so Feldman can take the signal for Davis Feldman. It looked like a great shot, but a bit of a miss, I would say, just in terms of the outcome. But, I mean, there's a scoring system of 0 to 4 or 0 to 5. I would definitely say it's probably a 2 or 3 because definitely it's in the situation, but not perhaps as much as was thought. So Team Feldman, let's get Team Feldman hammer. It's a draw. Shining it over with the team. They're now running kind of low on time. The shot is away. Sweepers are on it. Weight looks pretty good. I don't know how about the line. The line looks maybe a little tight. But it looks like it's going to get there, and what a great draw to the button. Just the shot that Team Feldman needed to. Wig looks pretty good. I don't know how about the line. The line looks a little tight, but it looks like it's going to get there, and what a great draw to the button for the 1. So we are all tied up heading into the final and determinative end unless there's a blank, which just happened. It's not impossible. So we're all tied up at 5 between Team Burton and Team Feldman as we continue our coverage of the 2022 MoPac
That was a nice way to say that.
Playdowns. We're about to get underway here. Just to update the action on TV. It looks like they're still playing their 9th end. It looks to be Hollywood is in control. There's people in front of the scoreboard. It's about Hollywood is up 8, and I think Lake Tahoe about 4 or 5, but we'll find out in a second. Yes, that's correct. So it is 8 to 5 Hollywood over Lake Tahoe as the curling here towards the end of the 9th end on Shape B. Moving back to our future C coverage. Kim Gowdy just delivered her first stone, I believe. And it looks like they're just going to put it in the house. Friday. And so for Feldman, they are just, it looks like they want to chip it out of the can. Okay, they want to chip it out. They want it to drop. And they got another corner guard. So in terms of curling strategy, if you don't have the hammer, you want to try and direct play towards the center to make it harder for the other team to score and for it to increase the chances of your stealing. Pardon me. Right now the play is mostly towards the wings, although it looks like Team Burton is putting up another center-ish guard. And so now Team Feldman, they're going for the center, which makes sense because they need to steal in order to win this game. So maybe is a touch heavy this run here. It's going to go behind the cover, and it's slowed down, so I came back. That was unusual. I want to see that again. So maybe is a touch heavy this run here. It's going to go behind the cover, and it's slowed down, so I came back. Quite bizarre, especially for this ice. But looks like they're going to clear. Team Burton's going to clear one of their guards. And so now Feldman is playing towards the center of the sheet. We will see if Melissa McGuire is going to have this shot down. Looks like it's going to over curl from what Feldman wanted, but if they can get into a scoring position, be second, that will help them, and they are going to be second. They're going to be second. They're not, maybe about a fifth buried under the corner guard. Here is Tatiana Keeling's shot, and she's throwing some weight at it. I thought it was weight. It's about halfway. Cleared away one of the guards. So Feldman is very quick. Also, if you look at the clocks in the background, they have just under 2.5 minutes to go. And so they definitely want to make sure they can get their shots off. Because, as they say in the biz, if you run out of time, you lose. I don't know who says it, but that's what it is. If you run out of time, you lose the game. So it looks like maybe this shot is definitely much more on the line that Feldman wanted. And just a beautiful rock placement. That rock on the back four is pretty close to totally buried. And so Burton's response is to try and clear that out. And so for Burton, like I said, for your defense, you want to control the center of the sheet. And then if you are the team with a hammer, the last shot, you want to have a draw to the butt to score the point and to win, almost like what we saw with Team Feldman in the last end, although that was not to win, that was just to score a point. So just a nice clearing of that high in the house rock. It wasn't a guard, but it was provided cover. Feldman liked that, so she wants to put that back in place. And so this is Laura Lunetta's chance to do so. be a smidge heavier. Maybe he's looking towards a plan B to lock that on to the red and not set up a double. So not necessarily a bad shot, but it does look like it possibly sets up a double for Team Burton. This will be talking about a Healing's opportunity. So it looks like she is throwing takeout away. Looks like it over curled. But she got both of them. Just an excellent double takeout. Bob, really. Looks like it over curled. But she got both of them. Just an excellent shot to be made by the game. So we're down to Skip Stone and Team Feldman is in their last 2 minutes. They have just over 90 seconds to get these last 2 shots off. So they need to hurry. It looks like they want to draw. Looks like they probably want to draw to behind the cover that's on the left side of the sheets. So they need to hustle. Now, the advantage of thinking time is that it does not include the time to deliver the shot. So they're calling probably a slower shot, but they will not be penalized for a draw that takes longer than it did, shall we say. So the shot's away. Looks like it needs to curl a bit more. It's gonna get there. It needs to curl it much more. And that rock is pretty exposed, unfortunately. So, but they can learn from it if they call a similar shot to their last to draw behind the cover and make Team Burton draw to that mid. This seems to be a solid strategy. It looks like Team Burton just wants to get rid of that red. And the camera's obstructed, but it sounds like Team Feldman is just around a minute to make their last shot. So here we go. This is Team Burton. Team Burton's first shot here in the 10th round. A chance to take out the red and be sitting at least 2. Thompson swept it for a little bit. Now he's walking down. And roll. So Team Feldman has a minute 6 now to pass things out. Minute 2. They probably need to hit and roll at this point. Because they can't hit and stay because that just leaves them exposed. And also depending on where the rock sticks, the blue that's on the left side might outpound the red. So a hit and roll under cover, that seems to be the best shot made. Feldman running low on time. But she gets the shot off. Sweepers are going. Looks like it might be over curling. It's over curling. And this might be the game here, folks. It is going to tap that blue towards the back of the house. And that is handshakes, ladies and gentlemen. Just a tough outcome for Team Feldman. But it looks like Team Burton is going to win by a score of 8-5. just a solid game all around for both teams. Obviously, sometimes you don't want to see a team lose, but just an excellent game. And congratulations to Team Burton. They're up 3-0 in the tournament. And we're going to see coming up at 1:30-ish or so, we're going to see Team Kettle from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling taking on Team Feldman on the feature sheet. On the B sheet, we're going to see Team Burton take on Team Coots as the double round robin continues at the 2022 MoPac Women's Club Playdowns. Before we sign off, I'm going to give an update on the B sheet. On the B sheet, it looks like Lake Tahoe Epic Curling was able to get one back in the 8th, and they are now down to 8-6, heading into this decisive 10th round. So that's going to wrap things up for us in the morning session. We really appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully you'll tune in this afternoon starting at 1:30 as we bring Team Feldman taking on Team Cable on the feature sheet. Thank you again. Until then, this has been your host, announcer Ryan, saying thank you very much. Good afternoon and good fun. We'll see you later.